Hello, my name is Lydia Baker. I'm fellow host of Introverted Indies. I'm also author of short story Arc, which is in verses. I'm also the author of the romantasy No Spice, Return of the Queen. And I'm also author of sci-fi dystopian novel AVA, which is what I'm going to be reading to you from. So, we're in chapter 5, and here we go. The barrier was almost invisible to the naked eye, save for a gentle pulse that buzzed across the perfect image that reflected back at me. Here at the edge of the woodland, the trees with their dark leaves and fluttering shadows bounced off the barrier in a near seamless reflection. In the city it reflected the pale sky-high towers of flats or offices or the flashing traffic lights and glaring MTech signs. It was like looking into a mirror, holding a mirror, an image that went on, yet you could see the flaws if you took a moment to be still and open your eyes. Gingerly I reached my hand out so I was almost touching it. Static shot across my skin, carrying with it a warmth that exuded from the barrier. With a sharp intake of breath, I pushed my fingers into it, and for a moment I thought they might go through. But a burning pain coursed down my arm as if my nerves were on fire. Yanking my hand away, I cradled it like a child, while in the distance an alarm wailed, splitting the silence. I ran. Tree branches tugged at my clothes and tore at my skin as my feet pounded against the damp ground, until I emerged at the roadside once more where the Land Rover stood waiting, draped in moonlight. In the inky blackness I fumbled with aching hands for the keys. My stomach rumbled as I threw the hammer and lighters into the boot and climbed into the driver's seat. I hadn't eaten since breakfast, and now my stomach was eating me from the inside out. The overwhelming nausea after finding Bernie had subsided, replaced by excitement and a craving for something sweet. As I fired up the truck, the old CB radio began to crackle and click. I picked it up. Silence. I think I'd seen Dad use it once, back on the outside. As we raced down green lanes, mud splattering up the windows, crackling voices laughed through the radio. I stared at it, willing it to make a noise, anything. I made to shove it back into its cradle, but as I did, it sprung into life again. This time I could hear a voice, so quiet and so small it was almost lost in the static. I sat there, lips parted, one hand on the radio, the other on the steering wheel, words stuck in my throat with disbelief. Hello? Static. Hello, over, I tried again. Nothing but static once more. With a small shake of my head, I put the radio back and fired up the car. I was hearing things. Exhaustion was catching up with me and playing tricks on me. The day had been traumatic and my mind couldn't focus. I needed to eat, to sleep, to plan. I needed to speak to Lucy and the others, tell them what I had found. Despite my stiff body crying out for sleep, it was time to take action. I wouldn't go home, not yet. The thought of Bernie's bus hovered in my mind once more. As I peered down at my phone, I decided to go to the Clements, a little cafe at the back end of nowhere, but the coffee was always fresh and hot, if a little weak. It was open late, and I knew it'd be quiet. I could nurse the coffee there for a while, maybe eat something, and wait until it was time to meet Lucy. I drove back to London in silence, the weight of my decisions resting heavily in my gut. We couldn't wait any longer to make our move. It was now or never. If Jackson was working for the government, he had the memory card. There was a chance it was already too late. In my mind, I saw the mech standing behind my front door, Kane strapped to a kitchen chair, his face bloody, nose broken, head lolling as he rolled in and out of consciousness. I clenched the steering wheel, my knuckles turning white. Lucy's name might have been extracted from between his swollen lips. The streetlights soon grew more frequent as the countryside receded, their dim lights illuminating the darkness of the truck. Other cars joined me on the quiet road until I was sitting in a flow of traffic. As I pulled off the main road and down the side street, my phone lit up in the passenger seat and I glanced over. It was Kane. He must have come home, seen the mess outside our flats, and wondered where I was. Putting into the curb, I cut the engine and answered the call. Hi. Alec, where are you? He sounded concerned. Out? Stay out, all right? It's carnage here. Mechs everywhere. Some dead guy on a bus. I cringed at his tactless words. Yeah, I saw something as I left. I got out quick. Good. Go see Lucy or something, yeah? He told me. Yeah, I was thinking I might crash there, or with Jones, I said. Jones, he repeated. Yeah, you know, my mate that works at Spectrum, the one with the worse job than mine. I laughed, trying to lighten the mood. He didn't say anything for a moment, then, stick with Lucy. I think she's at work. Shuffling down in my seat, I attempted to reach my wallet as I spoke to Kane. He mumbled down the phone at me about sitting outside her door or finding a work friend to hang out with. Finally freeing my wallet, I chucked it onto the passenger seat, glancing out of the passenger window as I did. I froze. It was the slightest glint, the smallest flash of streetlight on metal, the hint of a gun, a movement that said, "Follow me, don't argue." Thank you for listening, and you can find AVA and all my other books on Amazon.